Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Batteries not included.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
The LA Speed story, and it was just a story about one day it was really cool being SR-71 pilot. Walter and I were doing a training mission around the United States where you just were building up hours and time, and we take off out of Beale, hit a tanker in Idaho, rip on up to Montana, zip across Denver, hang a right turn in Albuquerque, out over Los Angeles, up to Seattle, back into Sacramento, 2 hours, 21 minutes. And you just do that then you do it backwards, and you hit a tanker or two. It was just to gain crew coordination, build your hours. We're on our last training mission. We're over Tucson. I can see downtown LA from Tucson. We're at 89,000 feet. I can see the whole western United States bathed in a warm October fall glow. I can see the chain of Rocky Mountains from Canada to New Mexico. I could just see the most beautiful picture laid at my feet, and the air as smooth as glass. Not a gauge moving in the cockpit. It was perfect.
Just like it is perfect driving Jose's Taco Truck around the United States. How you doing, everybody? This is KJ, live from Jose's Taco Truck, driving around in circles outside the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. What is going on, everybody? Happy New Year! It's 9 degrees where I'm at, and I'm freezing my balls off. I am probably going to end up lighting a fire. I am sick as well. All praise the holy strep throat and cold. And yay, we're all dying. So what's been going on? What did you guys do over the New Year's break? I, for one, was sick. I played video games. I live streamed. I launched WTF Nation Gaming. The whole kit and caboodle. We're having a grand old time. So, what is going on? Oh, man. Well, let's start out with some fire and ice, shall we? We'll start out with ice first. So, real quick, everyone that isn't tracking, we got snow and sleet head to the southeast as the northeast braces for another brutal Arctic invasion. Real quick, 40 states were under winter alerts for bitter coldish snow this morning. Dozens of record low temperatures were reported from the Midwest and Northeast and into the Gulf Coast. Wednesday morning, low pressure will begin to form east of Florida, bringing rain, sleet, and snow from the west of Jacksonville, Florida, to southern Georgia. It'll strengthen as it moves up the east coast, bringing wintry precipitation, snow, sleet, and freezing rain from Charleston, South Carolina, to Wilmington, North Carolina. By Thursday, the storm is expected to hit D.C., Philly, and New York City. So, and by the way, Washington and Philly may be spared, but Boston could get more than 6 inches, and New England, the rest of New England, like northern coastal Maine, could get up to a foot. Please be safe this upcoming week. This is turning out to be a very brutal winter. I don't want to hear anything bad happening to any of my brothers and sisters. So if you got to go out and you're in those areas, please, be smart, bundle up, don't be an idiot. The coldest morning for the Northeast will likely be Saturday, with wind chills near negative 50 degrees in northern New York, and wind chills well below zero for the I-95 corridor from Washington to Boston. Please, for the love of God, be smart. Bundle up. Don't. Negative 50 degrees in northern New York. So to all my friends and family at Fort Drum, sucks to suck. Oh man, I do not want to be stuck at Fort Drum right now. Negative 50. I'm just waiting for that first siren. All right, strip it down. We're going for a 5-mile run. Strip it down. Just hats and shorts. Let's do it. Of course, at negative 50, I think that would warrant some extreme measures to be taken. Morning, Mikey. Morning, D-Max. How y'all doing? So what's been going down? All sorts of fun things. Let's see. Let's go to the fire. So we got some cold. Let's get the heat in here. Real quick, in the Bronx, in New York, we have 16 hurt and a 7-alarm fire in the Bronx. More than a dozen people were hurt in an early morning 7-alarm fire in the Bronx. The fire is believed to have started around 5:30 a.m. Tuesday in a furniture store in a 4-story building, CBS New York reports. The store is on the ground floor with apartments above. The Fire Department of New York said more than 200 firefighters were battling the blaze, and that 16 people, including 9 children, suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Flames and smoke could be seen pouring out of the building. Bitter cold is making the fight against the fire difficult, and icicles could be seen forming on the power lines in front of the building. The Red Cross was helping about 22 people who have been displaced. Residents who were forced out into the cold were staying warm on a city bus. One resident escaped the burning building with his 3 young children. And I quote, "The smoke was so heavy, luckily we reached all the way to the bottom. Couldn't see anything on the stairs," said the man, who ran outside without his shoes or a shirt. "I came downstairs barefoot, no shirt, nothing. Not even shoes, just my babies. Somebody just lent me his shoes and a sweatshirt." Crews were still working to get the fire under control Tuesday morning. The cause of the fire is unknown. This blaze broke out only days after the deadliest fire to hit New York City in decades. That fire tore through another Bronx apartment building, killing 12 people, and was caused by a 3-year-old boy who was playing with burners on a kitchen stove. First of all, spank your kids. Second of all, what the hell? I feel you, Mikey. 7 degrees, 9 degrees. It is cold. I just had some issues with an AC unit a couple of weeks ago, and I am sitting here going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Please do not die on me. I do not want to lose my heat in the middle of this winter. So, now that we got the fire and the ice out of the way, let's head over to... So, as we know, 2018 is the start of many state laws going into effect that were voted in 2016. So, here we go. Hundreds of new state laws that go into effect on the first day of 2018, which was yesterday. Let's see what we got. In Iowa, voters will be asked to show their IDs at polls. Republicans say the law will help prevent voter fraud. In 2018, anyone who does not have ID will have to sign an oath verifying they are who they say they are and won't be allowed to cast a ballot. But starting in 2019, voters will be required to show their ID, and those who don't have one of the accepted forms will be offered a provisional ballot. West Virginia also requires voters at any election to show valid ID at the poll. The state permits both non-photo and photo IDs. What you earn at your workplace. In California, employers can no longer ask about your prior salary. Job applicants can volunteer that information if they wish. The new state law prohibits employers from relying on your salary history to decide whether to make you a job offer or decide how much to offer. And job applicants can request the pay scale for a position. This is... Now, it's intended... This law is intended to narrow the gender pay gap. But the harsh reality is, it's going to affect everybody in a much better way, more than just with gender pay gap. The issue here that's affecting is employers can screw employees by offering, for example, we'll use the radio show, myself and Minx both host shows, and we both do the same amount of time block, and Minx gets paid, and we both get hired at the same exact time. Minx gets paid $45,000, I get paid $30,000. And they do that by... checking our pay history, we volunteer our salaries, our previous salaries, and just because it's easier on the company, they can make more money that way. Easiest way to fight that, Bureau of Labor Statistics, and now with the ability to not have to share your prior salaries like some companies were having you do in California, bada bing, bada boom, now you can fight for better wages across the board, across all industries, across all demographics, not just the gender pay gap. Nevada requires employers to grant up to 160 hours of leave per year to employees who are victims of domestic violence or have family members who are victims. And Vermont can't request or require employees to provide their social media content. This act is meant to provide social media privacy for employers. Continuing on. Policing the police. Oh, here we fucking go. California and local law enforcement agencies will not be able to use its resources, such as its funds on personnel, to investigate, detain, or arrest people for immigration enforcement purposes. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Listen, you fucking Voldemort-looking motherfucker, Jerry Brown. When a person illegally immigrates here, they commit a crime. And when they commit a crime, oh my God, they have to get punished for it. But apparently your state agencies are local law enforcement is not going to be able to use its resources to investigate, detain, or arrest. You're being an asshole, Jerry Brown, and I'm sorry. You can't rely on illegal immigrants for votes. Stop being a dick. Let the police. But let's continue to fucking New Jersey, where fucking Snooki's still popping out kids like she's popping pills. New Jersey, police officers who handle sexual assault investigations are required to get training. What? Okay, hold the fucking phone. So before they weren't required to get training in any capacity. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, there's a hyperlink here. We're going to click on that hyperlink. We're going to examine this. From the state of New Jersey, Senate number 1739. The Division of Criminal Justice have developed or approved a training course and curriculum for law enforcement officers on the handling, investigation, and response procedures for reports of sexual assault. Why? Why is this such a new fucking thing? This should have been done decades ago. You've heard me preach about laws before and investigating laws. One of the worst ones to deal with is sexual assault. Not because it's time-consuming, not because it's a pain in the ass, but because for a lot of people that I know that have had to report it, it's a very traumatic experience because you have to go through these questions, which do make it seem like you're at fault, but it's not. They have to ask these things. They have to determine what your intent was, what their intent was. They have to ask all these questions. There is a sensible and sensitive way to do so, but sometimes people don't want to be communicative. You have to get a little brusque, and what do you know? It comes out a little rough. But this is training that should have been enacted years and decades ago, not just fucking now. I know Florida has shit like this. I know fucking New York has shit like this. New Jersey, stop fucking dropping the ball. You are the weakest link in the tri-state area. Stop being an asshole. All right, let's pop on down to the South in North Carolina. North Carolina's driver's handbooks will give instructions on how to deal with police during a traffic stop. The new law comes after people have died during traffic stops. The state law requires advice, including what actions that drivers should take, to be included in the driver's handbook. All right, North Carolinians, here's your fucking memo. Hands on the steering wheel, and whatever the cop tells you to do, you do. And if you over-exaggerate moving your hand to the glove compartment box, do it. But at least that over-exaggeration means that you're forced to think about that movement and show that movement so that, it can't be misconstrued for trying to pull a gun. But then again, common fucking sense is a superpower. All right, let's go to family and divorce. My favorite topic. New York will permit employees to take up to 8 weeks of paid family leave. Fuck yeah. This is bonding with a newborn, adopted, or foster child, caring for a family member who is ill, or helping with a family member who is deployed on military service. Way to go, New York. Awesome. I would love to see more time permitted for those conditions, especially with newborns. I think it's atrocious that there is maternal leave, no paternal leave, and that it's entirely reliant on the mother to take that leave and take time, especially if they're a career-seeking woman like my wife. My wife is a career woman. She's a massage therapist. I don't want to see her. She's not only a massage therapist, she's the moneymaker. So I don't want to see my wife have to take time off from the job that she likes doing, enjoys doing, loves doing, is passionate about, and solely is expected. Oh, and it's unpaid time off, by the way. But take that unpaid time off just to raise our child. It's just as much my job as it is my wife's. All right? I mean, Grey Cloud, shut the fuck up, man. It's above and beyond the well, she hosts 2 shows and is on for 3 hours each. I'm talking in that purely hypothetical statement. Employers, we should be able to share. One thing that needs to be addressed when it comes to wages is we should be able to. It should be illegal for companies to force us to not share our wages, because then people that are of equal stature can get a good pay. I'm sorry, but when I got hired at Taco Bell as a shift manager, I was getting paid $13.50. Another person, another veteran from another branch, got hired as a shift manager. Him and I talked about it. He got paid $2 less than me, and the only reason we can believe so is because we don't know. We don't know. Same exact shit. Same exact background. Almost the same exact job history. But he got paid $2 less than me. Why? You know, it's something that's always bothered me. But continuing with family and divorce, who gets the dog in a divorce? Well, in Illinois, pets will be treated more like kids than property in splits. So pets could be subject to partial or joint custody after the owner's divorce. The law only applies to companion animals, not service animals. Illinois, you're fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Pets are not fucking kids. I mean, okay, I call my fucking dogs my fur babies. But goddamn. You know, if my wife and I divorced, I'm taking my dog because it's my dog. I'm taking my cat because it's my cat. She's taking her dog because it's her dog. It's not that fucking hard of a concept, but apparently we want to treat dogs like children, so God fucking help us. All right, let's go into schooling. Oh my God, my state's first on the list. School buses in Tennessee will have more oversight following a deadly crash in Chattanooga that killed 6 children in 2016. The law requires local school agencies to have transportation supervisors. New school bus drivers must complete a training program and must be at least 25 years. Are you fucking kidding me? So you're telling me fucking Joe Snuffy prior to 2016, that's fucking 18 years old, could start fucking driving a school bus? Are you fucking kidding me, Tennessee? The fuck, man? Okay, here we go. Illinois, doing something that's actually awesome. Besides making stupid decisions about pets and divorce, Illinois makes a great decision requiring school districts to make feminine hygiene products free to students. Tampons or pads must be available in school bathrooms with students from grades 6 through 12. California passed a similar measure that applies to schools with low-income students. Oh, God damn it. Oh, wait, no, this is fucking awesome. Tennessee again. Colleges in Tennessee cannot stifle freedom of speech and expression by issuing speech codes, establishing free speech zones, or disinviting speakers based on opposition by others to the content of their speech, according to the Campus Free Speech Protection Act. As someone that is attending a Tennessee college, I can very proudly say, holly fucking Luya. Because, okay, story time with KJ. KJ went off to college when he got out of the Army. And KJ decided he's going to go to a technical school. And at said technical school, KJ got his shit fucking rocked. And the other fucking vets in the school, we decided we almost had to fucking gang up. We had to set up when we would arrive, where we would park, how we would ingress into the building, and make sure that we got everybody to their classrooms because we were veterans and we killed all the black people because we didn't care about Black Lives Matter. And I was in a legal program, and I got assaulted. I got assaulted with a keyboard. I got assaulted with a bunch of other fun little toys and things. It was a fun fucking time. Now, Tennessee colleges in Tennessee cannot stifle freedom of speech and expression. I can't wait to go back to my next level of college this upcoming semester. I can't wait to see what fun things I'm gonna start fucking carrying on fucking campus. It's just gonna be fucking nuts. God damn. Fucking my luck one day I'm gonna show up there. I'm wrong place, wrong time. Fucking Milo Yiannopoulos is gonna be fucking doing a speech. And with my luck, because I'm a fucking white guy with a fucking beard, with a high and tight, people are gonna be like, he's a fucking neo-Nazi! Yeah, calling the Jew a neo-Nazi. Actually, that's happened, so, here we go. Let there be pot! California becomes the latest state to legalize recreational marijuana. As long as you're over the age of 21, you can buy pot without a medical card thanks to Proposition 64, which voters approved in 2016. But marijuana may not be available right on January 1st, as businesses have to apply for a state license to begin selling recreational marijuana. Yesterday, most of these sellers were expecting a 30 to 40% increase in sales. What happened was that the majority of them experienced a 60 to 70% increase in sales, and they sold out. They are completely out, except for what they have for medicinal purposes. They are completely out. And my friends, I have friends and family in Cali. They're sitting there going, we just can't buy pot. Now, moving on to Colorado, where everything is higher. People who grow marijuana in Colorado are limited to 12 plants at home. Those who have medical conditions are allowed up to 24 plants. Local governments can pass even stricter limits. The cap on marijuana plants is intended to prevent pot from Colorado getting sold illegally in other states. And oh my fucking God. And in other state laws and important legislation, God damn it, Illinois, you just had to have a shit sandwich. August 4th is now Barack Obama Day, a state holiday in Illinois. What? What? How the fuck? I don't fucking get it. I mean, okay, he was a president. He's the first black president. I understand that. I can understand the importance of it, but what? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of historical significance in it, but at the same time, that's just a little soon, man. We're just getting off the Obama train. Now we're hopping on the Trump train, and come on. We don't need every snowflake. Oh, actually, maybe they did it to get every fucking liberal in Illinois. Oh my God, Barack Obama Day. We have to go to Illinois. Empty California and New York. Which it's already fucking emptying. In Tennessee, thank God, barbers can now make house calls in Tennessee. Before, they could only go to homes of customers who were ill. Now barbers with residential certificates can cut hair in anyone's home regardless of their client's health. Well, that just means that KJ doesn't have to move from his office while he is streaming or broadcasting or any of the above. I'll just sit here all day chewing my Copenhagen and getting my hair cut and, doing stuff for WTF Nation. Corn is the official grain of Illinois. I'm glad Illinois has so much time to legislate these things. What do we need to legislate today, guys? Well, there's a lot of very important factors we need to talk about. We have to talk about our state budget. We have to talk about the state of the infrastructure. Maybe we should give more funding to our National Guard. Hey, what should our official grain be? It should be corn. Let's vote on it. That's a great idea. Illinois, what the fuck, man? And in New York, public offices such as elected officials and managers who are convicted of a felony that is relevant to their jobs can have their pensions revoked or reduced. Hell yeah. Way to go, New York. So if you're a public official there and you decide to be a shitbag, you can have your pensions revoked or reduced. I can hear Mayor Bill de Blasio fucking going, no, because he's a fucking asshole. What's up, Doc? Nice to see you, Derek. Nice to see you, Mikey. Nice to see you, Cause. Let's hop over to the Mixer chat, see what's going on down over there. Nope, you have to be 25, Doc. Yeah, you have to be 25 now to drive a school bus in Tennessee. God fucking help us. I mean, I could drive a school bus. I think I would be a great... I mean, I'm already driving the taco truck. I think I'd be a great school bus driver because I'm a veteran, which means I'm automatically going to try to protect all those kids with my fucking life. Hands down, I'll fucking give up my life. B, I have incredible driving skills. I have somehow managed to drive this taco truck in circles around the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence, and I haven't flipped it or crashed it or even, hit ice yet. Granted, that could happen at any moment, but still, I'm just sitting here doing donuts, and C, I think that'd just be a pretty fun job, helping. If I was a school bus driver, I would be that bus driver to where when the kids got on, I would know all the kids on my route. I would sit there and, hey, what you doing? How's school? How's class? What's going on? Hey, when was the Constitution created? Good. What year did we have the 14th Amendment? What year was the 14th Amendment that? Asking fucking, keeping them involved in continuing education through the bus ride till they get home and they go, oh my God, I'm so glad KJ has dropped me off. I'm so fucking done with it. And then, 14 years later, oh my God, I'm so thankful for that bus driver KJ who kept me on, kept me asking questions, kept me focused on school, dragged the importance of schooling and education. you know, like a fucking broken record that I am, I'd be a great bus driver. I'd be the best bus driver. I'd be huge. Ay. I have to say, though, I'm really excited about the current development. I'm going to go into some green room stuff here. I'm really excited about the developments going on with marijuana. You know, federally, it's illegal. So, of course, I'm not going to be playing around with it. But when it comes to states recognizing recreational use and that it's just a fucking plant, that's really reassuring. I mean, yes, it's California, we get it. It's Cucalifornia, fuck your Second Amendment rights, all that jazz. But it's just a fucking plant. When's the last time you heard someone die from marijuana overdose? When's the last time you heard someone have a fatal car accident while high on pot? I mean, the most fatal thing that's going to happen to you while driving is, oh shit, I forgot to open the garage door while I was backing out. Fuck. Do we leave the lights on for Domino's? Do they know where we're at? I mean, then again, I was also in high school, I was the kind of guy that when I smoked in high school, I had 3 stages. I had the head constantly rolling from my left shoulder to my right shoulder and back. Then I had the constant contemplation of, I know I'm not falling out of the couch, but it feels like I'm falling out of the couch. But I know I'm not falling out of the couch. And then for some fucking reason, one arm would just constantly elevate, and then the other one would, as that rises, my other arm would go down. And it was just a constant fucking, I was just like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And then all of a sudden we start talking about the philosophical impacts of Alice in Wonderland while watching it, and yeah. But, one bad trip is all it takes. I've never touched pot, and I haven't touched pot in fucking 8 years. So, been a while. Corn is the official grain of Illinois. Illinois is fucking taking the cake here. Don't worry, guys. Your pets are going to be treated more like kids than property. So don't worry, everybody's going to get equal time with Tonto, the sheep herding dog. How did you do those fucking trade-offs? It's hard enough doing trade-offs. How would you draw up the custody papers? Well, Bill, you're gonna have Tonto every other weekend, and you're gonna have him for 4 weeks in the summer. And Jane, don't worry, you have primary custodialship of Tonto. Now remember that. I mean, what the fuck? What? In divorce, when you have children, there's a whole list of parental rights and things that you have fucking unalienable parental rights, and you have things you have to agree to that parenting decisions like where the child goes to school and what religious upbringing and their after school activities and blah 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 yada yada yada. You have these things there. What the fuck are you gonna do for a dog or a cat? Or if we want to go even more to extreme, let's say they have a fucking snake. Jesus Christ, a boa constrictor. Okay, Harry, well, you can have Bob the boa constrictor. You can have constriction time from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, it goes to Jane. And then on Sundays, you have to split it 50-50. Jesus fucking Christ, Illinois. I mean, at least, I don't know, the feminine hygiene products, I think that should be a federal thing. I thoroughly believe that should be a federal thing. I don't know how many times when I was in high school, and because I used to leave early. Some call it cutting class. I call it entrepreneurship. I used to leave early from school, and my girlfriend at the time would be like, "Hey, can you since you're heading over by CVS, can you pick me up some tampons?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, no problem. Can you just bring them back here and drop them off?" "Oh yeah, no problem. I got you." And then it was, "Oh, KJ's completely cool picking up tampons," and then I entrepreneurship. Yeah, I'll charge you an extra $2 for me to buy you a box of tampons. All of a sudden I'm rolling in the dough. I'm rolling in the dough like Adele's rolling in the deep. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Fuck. Keep the animal at that point. Yeah, exactly, D-Max. It's just one of those things of I can't understand how that would work. There's got to be a bunch of lawyers sitting there in Illinois just shaking their heads, simultaneously shaking their heads and rubbing their hands in that greedy little way of just sitting there going, "We are going to make so much fucking money." Like I remember when I was going to law school, when I was going to the technical college and getting my degree in paralegalism, and at the time I wanted to be a lawyer. I remember one of my teachers saying, like, I don't know how many fucking divorces I've done where like the whole thing gets caught up on a pet. And that's in Tennessee. He's like, and I would just make like $10,000 or $20,000 just on a fucking dog. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Now imagine Illinois. Oh, they're gonna $10,000 or $20,000. Let's make the initial I don't know, pet custodialship plan. Let's make it so ludicrous that it gets tied up in the litigations and negotiations. Lawyers, blood-sucking fiends. All right, we talked about the ice. We talked about the fire. Let's move on to no one fucking learning a goddamn thing from science fiction. So, triple-acting diabetes drug reverses memory loss in Alzheimer's disease mouse models. Studies in a mouse model of Alzheimer's disease, AD, have shown how a drug that was originally developed to treat diabetes demonstrates what researchers in the UK and China call clear promise as a treatment for Alzheimer's disease and other neurodegenerative disorders in humans. The study, led by Christian Holscher, PhD, at the UK's Lancaster University, confirmed that Alzheimer's disease mice treated using a triple receptor agonist, TA, showed significantly reversed memory loss as well as reduced neuroinflammation and oxidative stress, lower amyloid plaque load in the brain, and increased levels of brain-derived neurotopic factor. Oh my god, Minx, get in here. I don't know what any of this means. A key growth factor that protects synaptic function. Oh my fucking god. Basically, it makes your brain healthier. These findings show that TAs are a promising lead for the design of future treatment strategies in Alzheimer's disease. The researchers write in their published paper in Brain Research, which is entitled The Neuroprotective Effects of a Triple GLP-1-GIP-glucagon Receptor Agonist in the APP-PS1 Transgenic Mouse Model of Alzheimer's Disease. Fuck! That was hard to say. I thought the military liked their acronyms. Type 2 diabetes mellitus, T2DM, is a known risk factor for AD, and the association has motivated scientists to investigate whether anti-diabetic drugs might also be effective against Alzheimer's disease. Studies have shown the incretin hormones, glucagon-like peptide-1, and glucose-dependent insulinotropic polypeptide, which have anti-diabetic properties, can play a neuroprotective role in the brain and have demonstrated promising effects in animal models of AD. We're going to pause right there. And as we all know, KJ is a geek. He is a nerd. And I swear to God, this is straight out of the goddamn fucking Planet of the Apes. Fuck me, man. Don't go to ape testing. No, bad idea. No, negative. No. Stick with the mice, then go to human. Don't do apes. Bad researchers. Bad. Just stick with the mice, then go to humans. And if it kills a human, just kill it off. Because this is word for fucking word what happened in Planet of the Apes. Just no. Fuck no. Don't want to play with this game. I mean, I'm thrilled that we are finding a way to fight against Alzheimer's. My grandmother did not have Alzheimer's. My grandmother passed away with dementia. And there is history of dementia on my side of the family. So finding ways to fight any of the neurodegenerative disorders, dementia, Alzheimer's, I forgot the other one. Okay, it'll come to me. Finding a way to fight against these and preserve the human mind for longer is amazing. But at the same time, okay. I, for one, do not welcome our ape overlords, and I will be like Gary Oldman from War of the Planet of the Apes, just waiting for my iPad to load up as I look at the lost pictures of my wife and kids. Yeah, no. I don't know. Is that too alarmist? Is that too fucking conspiracy theory? What kind of meds were they? GLB what? Let me go back and look that up for you real quick. They are GLP, Gulf Lima Papa, GIP, Gulf India Papa, and GCG, Gulf Charlie Gulf. Receptor agonists have cleared neuroprotective effects in the APP-PSI mouse model of AD. And this is actually very impressive. I mean, all jokes aside about end of the world apes coming to kill us all, this is fantastic, because with this preclinical data and demonstrating the neuroprotective properties of GLP-1, GIP, and the glucagon receptor, what this means is that these drugs are going to, if they can perfect them and make them working for humans, grandma and grandpa can retain their memories longer, and if their brains are good for longer, that means they can keep their bodies up for longer, which means we can live longer. Which then leads to this question. As we know, disease and plague are a natural way for nature to control the population. Do you think that us constantly furthering and progressing in the medical fields, making us live longer, is upsetting that natural balance? And I ask that because I'm a huge fucking nerd, and I just finished reading a book called Rainbow Six. And that's the whole, Jesus Christ, phone. That's the whole premise of it, is that, the main horror of that Clancy novel is that the antagonists are building a plague, which is supposed to, an Ebola plague that with some cancer genes thrown in there, which is already a nightmare. And they're going to wipe out the Earth and restart the human population more druidic, more Earth first sort of bullshit. But do you think that this is gonna cause a problem with like overpopulation and overconsumption? I'm not asking if it's right for us to be there. I'm asking that with constant advances in not only neurological but physical health and in so many different fields of medicine, do you think that this can cause a problem for us in the future with overpopulation, overconsumption, and are we going to have to start looking at expanding sooner rather than later? Let me know what you think about that. Don't poke the monkeys. Bad poking the monkeys, Spencer. We don't need to put my paranoia up. I got enough tinfoil on my head. Mainly because it's freezing and I have a microwave sitting above me just blasting me with radiation. I mean, I personally think that with humanity throughout the ages, yes, we are a very smart and intelligent creature. But throughout the ages, we have lived longer and longer and longer as medicine has advanced. And I firmly believe that, yes, there will come a point where our understanding of the human body and medicine will create us to live longer, and it will lead to overpopulation, and it will lead to overconsumption, and we will need to expand. And I think that'll push other things like space exploration, and I think that'll put other things like colonization higher on the priority list, especially when you have countries like China, which is in the billions alone. The United States, which is at almost 500,000. There's gonna get to a point where we're gonna start running out of resources at some point. And I'm not saying in the next 20, 30, 50 years. I'm saying like a couple centuries, maybe a couple millennia. But at some point, could our furthering of the medical fields that helps us live longer, is that going to be an issue in the future? With overpopulation and overconsumption. Let me know what you think. Feel free, call the show. Let me get your opinion on that. So, call the show now.
Call the show now at 415-889-8367.
And let me get your opinions on that. By the way, what's going on in the Mixer chat? Dude, I am friggin' hungry too, Doc. Like, I woke up, had my cup of coffee, I didn't need whiskey and Kahlua. I just needed Kahlua in my coffee this morning. It was great. It was great. I just needed Kahlua because I didn't have to worry about Kim Jong-un. Oh, wait. Oh, fuck me. There's a Kim Jong-un article on my list. God damn it. I thought I was going to go a whole day without Kim Jong-un. Oh, fuck us. Moving forward. Iran. As everyone heard last night, Iran is having some protests go on. And they're interesting. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, God damn it, Khamenei, the Ayatollah, Iranian supreme leader, blamed enemies of Iran on Tuesday for protests that have left more than 20 people dead in his first comment since the unrest started last week. In recent events, enemies of Iran have allied and used the various means they possess, including money, weapons, politics, and intelligence services, to trouble the Islamic Republic, said a post in English on Ayatollah Khamenei's Twitter account. The enemy is always looking for an opportunity and any crevice to infiltrate and strike the Iranian nation. You know, there have been some pretty crazy leaders that have said the same fucking thing. Stalin, Hitler, Mussolini, whatever. As of Tuesday morning, the death toll from the protests across the country and the ensuing crackdown by the government and security services was at least 21. About 450 had been taken into custody in the capital, Tehran, alone, according to the semi-official news agency ILNA, and arrests have also been reported elsewhere. Ayatollah Khamenei, who had been a target of the protesters, did not specify which individuals or countries he was referring to, saying he would speak to the dear people when the time is right. In his stream of posts on Twitter, he did, however, implicitly compare the current demonstrations to Iran's 8-year war with Iraq in the 1980s, when the United States, its European allies, and the Persian Gulf monarchies of Saudi Arabia and the UAE backed the Ba'ath Party government of Saddam Hussein against Tehran. Well, we picked the lesser evil. We knew we could beat Saddam. During Saddam's imposed war on Iran, if the Ba'athi... Okay, hold on, before I go further. You know why we fucking chose Saddam? Because you fuckers decided to hit our embassy. Oh, you know what? We're about to go to war with Iraq. You know, Iraq's starting a war with us. That's really, that might be a big issue. Hey, U.S., you want to help us? Remember that whole embassy thing? Huh? Yeah, we're going to back up Saddam. You fucking... Okay, great. If you're going to go history, great, awesome, fantastic. But remember, you kind of fucked us in the 70s. It was only compounded by the incompetence of Jimmy Carter and the witch hunt of the special operations guys like Dick Schultz and everybody. But Jesus Christ. You kind of fucked us. But moving on. If the Ba'athi enemies had entered Iran, they would show no mercy towards anything or anyone. Well, that's how war works. Iran's situation would be worse off than today's Libya or Syria. Really? I don't know. The United States, Saudi Arabia, and the other Persian Gulf monarchies are all backing the rebels fighting the Iranian-backed government in Syria. In Libya, NATO led a bombing campaign that helped remove Colonel Muammar al-Gaddafi in 2011, which I remember that. It was fucking awesome. And both the UAE and Qatar have continued to back allied groups inside Libya in the continuing civil strife there. The Iranian nations will forever owe the dear martyrs who left behind their homes and families to stand against the wicked enemies backed by Westerners, Easterners, as well as reactionaries of the region. His remarks came a day after President Trump criticized Iran, saying, and I quote from President Trump's Twitter, "The people of Iran are finally acting against the brutal and corrupt Iranian regime. All of the money that President Obama so foolishly gave them went into terrorism and into their pockets. The people have little food, big inflation, and no human rights. The U.S. is watching." Okay. Now, there's no way... I'm going to be realistic here. There's no way to prove, as my voice cracks, there's no way to prove that all that money went into terrorism and their pockets. But then again, Hezbollah. I am going to say that I am thrilled that there's something going on in Iran. I remember watching the video last night. They were calling for the return of the king. I have been thoroughly watching. There have been plenty of people that have been able to get message out and word out. I know some internet has been shut down over there in Iran. But my biggest concern with Iran, and I'm gonna just sit on the Facebook chat, is that my biggest fear with Iran is that it devolves into it goes from a peaceful protest into a full-fledged revolution, and the revolution devolves into a civil war, like Syria. And in that region, we have way too much destabilization. Syria Israel, Palestine, the Gaza Strip, the current Saudi Arabia and Yemeni insurgency. It is fucking insane. So that adding to it, on one hand, I want to see a free Iran. I want to see any country establish democracy, or if you're going back to a monarchy and you want the king, I want the king at least to be fucking competent. But at the same time, I'm worried that with that much destability in the area, our brothers and sisters in Iraq, our brothers and sisters in Bahrain, they will deal with more insurgency, more attacks, more violence. That's my biggest concern, is our U.S. troops already there. You know, Kuwait, Iraq, Bahrain, etc., etc., etc. You know, and the other thing that does worry me is because we just like to meddle, if something does happen in Iran, and if it does go to armed revolution, are we going to put SF guys on boots on the ground in there? Are we going to put in SF, SEALs, CIA direct operations, shit like that? And how will that affect our guys in Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain? You know, because Iran's already a fountain. You know, it's already an open and close. Hey, you want to go to Iraq to cause some terrorism? Don't you worry about it. Just go through Iran. Okay. Now, if there's a full-blown revolution going on, if this evolves into a full-blown revolution, then what was once just a way to trickle in and flow in will now become a floodgate that's just been fully opened. Because who's going to be watching the borders? Who's going to be watching all that stuff? Sure as shit ain't going to be the Iranian government, because they're going to be worried about securing their regime. Sure as shit ain't going to be the revolutionaries, because they're going to be worried about creating their own regime. This is a fucking nightmare in the making. And I really fucking... Now, okay, they brought up Libya, and I'm going to use Libya as an example, because in 2011, I was 19 when Libya was happening. Yeah. When Libya was happening, and I was not in yet. I was not in the military, but I was very heavily supportive. I was currently in the process of losing weight and stop being such a fat fuck. And I remember watching this technical drive up. It was on the CNN news. Watching this technical, and clear as day, the guy's wearing Woodland BDUs. I'm like, oh hey, those are the fucking classic BDUs. And then clear as fucking day, I'm looking at the dude, and I start looking at him. And the dude is whiter than sin, and he's speaking fluent English and yelling, and he's manning this 50 on the back of a technical. And go, oh my god, that's an American. Holy fucking shit, that's an SF dude. And I know the SF can't say shit. I don't know if it is fucking SEALs or fucking MARSOC or Raiders or whatever the fuck you're calling yourself now, or Army Special Forces or Delta or fucking whatever. But that's really what I'm worried about, is if we decide to interfere in any way, shape, or form, like we didn't do supposedly in Libya. Even though CNN got it pretty fucking clear, or we aren't doing in Syria, or we are doing in Iraq, well, have been doing in Iraq, you know, that if we interfere, what is going to happen to our brothers and sisters? What is going to happen to those guys that get told, hey, there's a revolution going on in Iran, let's go train up those rebels who want the king back? And who is going to help stop and stem that flow of terrorism? Continuing on in the article. Bahram Kasami responded to President Trump's tweet. He's a spokesman for the Foreign Ministry, describing his comments as insulting, useless, and counterproductive. Well, I mean, you know, he is the head of state of the countries whose embassy you did fucking raid and you know, destroy in the 70s. So, Kasimi says it's better for him to try to address the internal issues like the murder and scores killed on a daily basis in the United States during armed clashes and shootings, as well as millions of the homeless and hungry people in the country. Okay, he's not wrong there. Okay, he's not wrong there. That came from Mr. Kasimi, said on the state-run news agency IRNA. He's not wrong, but at the same time... yeah, we're kind of pledging our support to the guys that, you know, didn't fuck us in the 70s. The protests are the largest in Iran since 2009 during the so-called Green Movement, which took place after the election of the hardline leader Mahmoud fucking A. Ahmadinejad. I'm so fucking bad at names. I'm sorry. And transitioned into a wider protest against the country's leadership. The latest demonstrations, which largely seem to come out of nowhere, have surprised the authority with their size and intensity, appear to be rooted in anger towards President Hassan Rouhani, who is regarded as a moderate, and his inability to bring change to an economy that has long suffered under the weight of sanctions. As the protests have continued, however, they have taken on a political bent directed at the establishment, with demonstrators calling for the death of Mr. Rouhani and Ayatollah Khamenei. Mr. Rouhani has tried to acknowledge the protesters' complaints, asking them to avoid violence while saying they had a right to be heard, but others in the government have called for a firmer response. Brigadier General Esmail Kausari, deputy chief of the main Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps based in Tehran, told the semi-official news agency ISNA, "If the situation continues, the officials will definitely make some decisions, and at that point, this business will be finished." Iran is battling with Saudi-led Persian Gulf states for dominance across several unstable countries around the region. In addition to providing military support for Damascus against Syrian rebels who received backing from Gulf states, Tehran is providing aid to Houthis in Yemen who are fighting Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. God fucking damn it. Just fuck it. Just go. Just call your glorious revolution. Bring your fucking king back. Iran is doing nothing but... They're like the fucking Oprah of the Middle East. Oh, we have something very special for all you special little jihadis out there. You get an AK. You get an AK. Everybody gets an AK-47. God fucking damn it. Just fucking damn it. Iran has provided support for protesters and militants opposing the Saudi-backed monarchy in Bahrain, and Iran-assisted factions dominate the politics of Lebanon and Iraq against opponents Saudi Arabia backs. In most cases, the contest for power plays out through sectarian rivalries. Saudi Arabia and the Persian Gulf monarchs are backing fellow Sunni Muslims in each arena, and the Shiite government of Iran is backing Shiites in Lebanon, Iraq, and Bahrain, as well as allied heterodox Muslim sects like the Alawites in Syria or the Houthis in Yemen. God fucking damn it, just... Fuck it, we need a new Walmart. That's it. Just carpet bomb, napalm, everything. Couple of Moabs. We'll make the world's fucking largest manufacturing plant. Manufactures everything. Even oil. Just nuke it all. God fucking damn it. It's like we can't fucking win in there. Yeah, you're right. We can't worry about CNN being over there now. They're too busy getting high. I was going to report the news, but then I got high. Wondering what the fuck am I doing, and where am I? I was going to say something cool, but I found a doobie for ND. Because I got high. I don't fucking know. Okay, now let's go to the fucking Korean Peninsula, because we all know how much KJ loves Korea. Yay. You know what? We're going to save Korea for after the break. That's what we'll do. We'll save Korea for after the break. I kind of hope that this Iran thing just fucking blows over quickly. But I know it isn't. What's this? All right. We'll talk about Pakistan real quick. We'll just work our way to the Far East. So, Islamabad in Pakistan. Pakistan holds emergency meeting after Trump's tweet. What did our lovely president tweet again? The United States has foolishly given Pakistan more than $33 billion in aid over the last 15 years, and they've given us nothing but lies and deceit, thinking our leaders as fools. They give safe haven to the terrorists we hunt in Afghanistan with little help. No more. You know, your first tweet of 2008, that was his first fucking tweet of this fucking year. 2018, and your first fucking tweet is to attack a fucking country. President Trump. Just stop it. Bad. I feel like you're a fucking cat that we need a spray bottle with. And every time you reach for your phone or you have your fucking Twitter team handle their phone, we just spray you in the face with water. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop tweeting. Stop speaking out your ass. Just fucking stop it. God damn it, Mr. President. Pakistan's government held an emergency security meeting on Tuesday after the president accused Islamabad of lies and deceit in a New Year's Day tweet. Prime Minister Shahid Khan Abbasi chaired the National Security Council meeting, attended by the country's foreign, interior, and defense ministers, along with chiefs of staff of the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Meanwhile, around 200 members of the Difa-e-Pakistan Council, a coalition of Islamist parties, demonstrated Tuesday against the U.S. president in Karachi, holding Dump Trump placards and burning the American flag. Because, of course, that's what we fucking do in the Middle East. We burn the American flag as protest constantly. The White House said Monday that it would continue to withhold $255 million in military aid to Pakistan out of frustration over what is characterized as Islamabad's obstinance in confronting terrorist networks. The Pakistani government has yet to issue a formal response, though on Monday, U.S. Ambassador David Hale was summoned to the Foreign Ministry to meet with senior foreign officials, a U.S. Embassy spokesman confirmed. Here's my heartache. I watch independent news religiously. And a place that everything from when they aren't talking about weed or millennials, Vice, fucking BBC, fucking... I mean, there's so many different news sources. I can't name them all. But when they go to Pakistan and they do an article on terrorism in Pakistan, it's not the same guy, but it's always the same thing. It's the same group of people, same size of people, that are actively pursuing and hunting. And part of me thinks, okay, this is just for the fucking show. It's just for we're doing our part. But at the same time, terrorism is not something the world as a whole generally likes. I mean, I may be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for the whole... Hillary's not going to fucking jail. Get that out of your goddamn heads now. I'll address that next. But terrorism is something I don't think the whole world as a general population like, you know what? I don't think all fucking Muslims are sitting there in the fucking, wherever they are, the Philippines, the Middle East, fucking Japan, United States, and they're going, you know what? Terrorism is fucking fantastic. Yeah, keep doing your jihad. Yeah, fucking great. No, I'm positive, fucking 99% of the world is sitting there going, God fucking damn it. But at the same time, it isn't like with fucking Europe where you can easily anticipate what Germany's going to do or what France is going to do, or even in like Southern Africa or fucking the Far East where you've established. The Middle East is so fucking tumultuous that trying to anticipate, it's like fucking cutting a chicken with its head cut. It's like killing a chicken by cutting its head cut off and running around a giant dartboard on the floor and playing darts that way. You just don't know what the fuck you're going to get. One day, everything's cool in Iran. We're just testing our fucking nuclear capabilities. The next day, we have revolution. One day, everything's fucking cool. And oh my God, we're in a fucking 7-year civil war. Hey, fucking United States finally implemented its 1995 decision to move the capital, recognize the capital of Israel as Jerusalem, and move the embassy there. And bombs and missiles. God fucking damn it. Alright. I saw a comment in the Facebook chat. I'm going to address that next. Mikey Everett, you sit there and said you're still waiting for Hillary to go to jail. I'm going to sit there and comment why Hillary is not going to go to jail. And y'all are going to call me a fucking liberal libtard, and I'm going to fucking giggle and laugh. But you know what? It's only going to be here, live at Jose's Taco Truck, after the break on WTF Nation Radio. I will see you in about 5 minutes. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, shots.
WTF Nation Radio. Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back with Jose's Taco Truck, top of the second hour. And it is your host, KJ. And I ended that hour saying we're going to talk about that statement. I'm still waiting for Hillary to go to jail. I hate to say it. You know what? I don't hate to say it. She's not going to fucking jail. She's not. Period, unquote. That woman is not going to jail. I'm sorry, she's not. And this is the point I'm gonna. This is a very important point I'm gonna make. There are when Director Comey was in charge of the FBI and he said what he said, which of course impeded the fucking election, which it did. It impeded the election. He could have waited, but she won't go to jail because when Director Comey was in and he investigated, he found nothing. And that's the thing when it comes to it. And I will base her. I'm going to base her. I'm going to have my personal opinions on it. But unfortunately, I'm in a public venue, and I'm going to state this: she's not been convicted of any crime. She's not been alleged of any crime. She's not going to jail to face the courts for any crime. She's not. None of that. So here's the thing. There's no crime that's been committed. There's no crime that she's been accused of. There's no crime that she has been brought in front of a United States federal court judge for. Hillary Clinton is at the moment not going to jail. And I'm not going to sit here and waste time on it. And if she runs again in 2020, she runs a fucking... 2020, wow. It seems so far away. Well, if she runs again in 2020, she runs a fucking again. And I wish her the best of luck as a political candidate. And I wish her the best of luck to try to get in office, as I do with all political candidates. With all presidential candidates. But she ain't going to fucking jail. If she was, it would have been done. But let's look at this lovely fucking article regarding our president. Let's look at President Trump. He is again at war with the Justice Department. See, this is something that should be bothering us. I get him calling out the news. I get it. Because right now, news agencies are fucking biased. In a time when they shouldn't be, news agencies are biased. I get the president calling out the news. I get the president calling out other countries. Granted, when there is something to back it up. When you have evidence and proof to back it up. However, the Department of Justice, and I don't know how many times for the rest of my tenure here at WTF Nation Radio I'm going to say this. The Department of Justice is supposed to be impartial to politics. Of course, when it comes to matters of the Supreme Court, it is their interpretations and their opinions on the law. However, the Department of Justice is, for the most part, for the majority, impartial. And the articles we see about some insane fucking ruling is that, other 1 out of 10 times, but 9 times out of 10, they are usually impartial. And I am not talking about divorce. I am not talking about civil court, which is at a state level. I'm talking federal. So, with that being said, constantly, for the past year, President Donald Trump has aggressively attacked our federal court system. And his latest criticism of the Justice Department today suggested that the executive department is part of a deep state that he believes has sought to undermine him. So now he's not only attacking the Justice Department, the judicial branch, but the executive. His criticisms is the latest he has lobbed against the department that oversees the top federal law enforcement agencies following verbal attacks in recent months against key Justice Department officials and the FBI, whose reputation he alleged last month is in tatters. Well, of course the FBI's reputation is in tatters. And you're part to blame. President Trump's latest barb targeting the Justice Department came in a tweet in which he appeared to suggest Hillary Clinton's top aide, Huma Abedin, should face jail time for reportedly including confidential government information in non-government personal emails. And the Trump reads, crooked Hillary Clinton's top aide, Huma Abedin, has been accused of disregarding basic security protocols. She put classified passwords into the hands of foreign agents. Remember sailor pictures on submarine? Jail. Deep State Justice Department must finally act, also on Comey and others. First of all, what the fuck is a Deep State Justice Department? Second of all, accused. Where is the evidence? Show me the proof. As I said in Jerry Maguire, show me the money. Where is the proof? I am so sick and fucking tired of constant accused, allegedly. Show me the fucking proof. If you have it, put it out there. Get her in front of a judge. Get him in front of a judge. Do it. But if you don't, shut the fuck up. Because for Christ's sake, you are undermining the institutions which make America great. In the office of the president, you are supposed to elevate this country, not belittle it. This is my biggest problem with our beloved President Trump and everyone who's, Trump train. You're just as much at fault for belittling and causing people to laugh at our country and our worldview going down. Because of shit just like this. Let's continue the article. Some of Abedin's emails released Friday by the State Department were marked confidential and were heavily redacted by the State Department. One email Abedin forwarded to her personal email account from her State Department account included passwords for a two-step laptop login process, though that email was not marked classified as Trump claimed. Asked about President Trump's tweet, the Justice Department declined to confirm or deny the existence of an ongoing investigation. Of course, they would do that because if there is one, you don't want the person being investigated to, run. And if there isn't one, then who the fuck cares? The FBI has previously said that a number of Abedin's documents were backed up on the laptop of her estranged husband, former Representative Anthony Weiner, and that some smaller number were manually forwarded. In a letter to the Senate Judiciary Committee last May, the FBI said, although we do not know the exact numbers based on its investigations, the FBI believes it is reasonable to conclude that most of the emails found on Mr. Weiner's laptop computer related to the Clinton investigation occurred as a result of a backup of personal electronic devices, with a small number a result of manual forwarding by Ms. Abedin to Mr. Weiner. Then FBI Director James Comey testified last year that somehow her emails were being forwarded to Anthony Weiner, including classified information by Clinton's assistant, Huma Abedin. But there's no indication that Abedin had a sense that what she was doing was in violation of the law, Comey added. And investigators couldn't prove any sort of criminal intent. There is an important phrase right there. Prove any sort of criminal intent. When Trump suggested Tuesday that the Justice Department should prosecute Abedin, reviving calls for further investigations of Clinton and her associates' use of private email during her time as Secretary of State, Trump last week said in an interview that he has purposely stayed uninvolved with the email investigation. Bullshit, you stayed uninvolved. It seems like every goddamn fucking week you're talking about crooked Hillary Clinton. Here's the harsh reality, Mr. President. You fucking won. You won. Let the fucking investigators, let the FBI do their fucking job. Let the Department of Justice do their fucking job. Let them, the ones that we voluntarily let investigate federal crimes up to and including treason, let them investigate. But your fucking constant tweeting, your fucking constant fucking commentary, you don't need it. You don't need this fucking rhetoric. It's below the position of the presidency. What I've done, I have absolute right to do what I want to do with the Justice Department. But for purposes of hopefully thinking I'm going to be treated fairly, I've stayed uninvolved with this political matter, President Trump told the New York Times in an interview last week. But you haven't. And we just went over that. You tweet. You are in the highest office of the land with the most amount of public authority. You influence millions of people daily. What the hell? And the accused, the alleged, they need to go to jail. When they get arrested, once they're in handcuffs, then start making those calls. And I'll sit there. My personal opinion, yes, my personal opinion. I believe Hillary Clinton did something wrong. I believe she fucked up with Benghazi. I believe she fucked up with the email thing. But then again, every Secretary of State used their fucking personal email. Fuck. It's no fucking secret. None. John Kerry, Hillary Clinton. Fucking, I can't remember President Bush's because I'm an idiot. Bill Clinton in the late 90s. It's no fucking secret. They all did it. What makes it okay for Bush and his Secretary of State? What makes it okay for Bill Clinton and his Secretary of State? What makes it okay for, because we fucking know what's happening right now, for fucking Rex Tillerson and President Trump, but not okay for Hillary? What makes it okay for John Kerry, but not okay for Hillary? That's... The harsh reality is, no one's going to fucking prison from that group. None of them. And not because, oh, it all got sanitized. Or not because, oh, well, they're just so crooked that they bought everyone out. Or the Soros regime. No. Right fucking now, there's just fucking nothing there that's warranting arrest. There's nothing there right now. There may be something later, but as of right now, no one's been arrested. Except for Anthony Weiner, because, you know, he's a fucking dirtbag. But, you know, no one's been arrested. Let this fucking die. And Mr. President, let this fucking die. Move on. Worry about our homeless problem. Worry about our homeless veteran problem. Worry about the upcoming economic downturn, which we have something affect our economy in a negative way almost every 10 years. And we're starting to get close to that point. Last one was in 2007, 2008. We're starting to get there again. Something's going to happen. Find a peaceful solution in North Korea, which isn't going to fucking happen. I hope to God I get to go over there and pull some Rambo shit, but then, you know, I'd love for that. But, you know, peace is always better. Stop tweeting about fucking Hillary. Stop riling the nation up. Most of all, stop fucking dividing us. You're just as bad as the fucking news stations. I fucking said it. He's just as bad as the fucking news stations on this. Here we go. Moving past that. We're going back to the Middle East. Israel accelerates plans that imperil the two-state solution. Energized by the American recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, the country's right-wing government has accelerated plans that imperil a two-state solution, solidifying Israel's power and control over Jerusalem. In an all-night session, the Knesset, Israel's parliament, enacted a law early Tuesday making it much more difficult to negotiate Jerusalem as part of a peace process. The Holy City is the most sensitive and perhaps the most important issue in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, with parts of the city claimed by both sides as their capital. The law was passed as an amendment to Israel's basic law, the closest thing Israel has to a constitution. Pardon me. The amendment stipulates that any attempt to transfer sovereign control of Jerusalem to a foreign entity needs to be approved by a supermajority of 80 Knesset members out of 120. Previously, the requirement was the majority of 61 members. And in a move that is surely to be met with Palestinian outrage, the amendment also authorizes the Knesset to change the municipal borders of Jerusalem with a simple majority, provided any neighborhoods removed from the city remain under Israeli sovereignty. That allows Israel to remove Palestinian neighborhoods from the city, per the Greater Jerusalem Plan being advanced by members of Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government coalition. I fucking hate you, Netanyahu. You're a fucking... In response to a new law, a spokesman for the Palestinian Authority, President Mahmoud Abbas, said it was a declaration of war against the Palestinian people and their identity. You know what? This fucking two-state solution ain't fucking working in Israel. It ain't. The kind of... The Rick and Morty, it's kind of obvious resolution is just make Jerusalem its own fucking state. No one is happy. Nobody wins. But then you take the highest fucking Islamic, the highest fucking Christian, and the highest fucking Jewish religious leaders, plant them in that city, and throw the Swiss Guard in there. And say, there you fucking go. And it's done. It's over. Because the minute you kill the Swiss Guardsmen, all of Europe's going to be pissed. The minute you kill the Catholic Pope, all the Catholics are going to be pissed. The minute you kill the fucking highest rabbi of the Jews, all the Jews are going to be pissed. And the minute you kill the highest Ayatollah of the Muslims, all the Muslims are going to be pissed. No one's going to want to wage that war. Crusades 2.0 ain't going to happen. That would be a fucking nightmare. At the same time, you have just achieved peace because no one wants to take that fucking step. And the people that do, the whole world will come down on them. Look at what happens when someone tries to assassinate the Pope, for Christ's sake. Every fucking agency in the world. Hey, how you doing? Now imagine you throw those three people in the same area in charge of that one fucking city. No one gets it. Fuck Palestine, fuck Israel. No one gets it. Done. Problem solved. And that's all I'm going to say about Israel. Every fucking time someone brings up fucking Jerusalem, that's all I'm going to say. From here on out. Because it's common fucking sense. But then again, a fucking superpower. I need that as a soundbite. Okay, so we talked about President Trump, and I've already railed against him enough today. But he actually did something pretty fucking cool. And I'm pretty proud of this. So President Trump on Tuesday offered his congratulations to a new publisher of the New York Times, A.G. Sulzberger, saying it's the publication's last chance to fulfill its founder's vision. Okay, I spoke too soon. Maybe it's not 100% cool. Maybe he's still fucking being a douchebag. The failing New York Times has a new publisher. I don't think they're failing. A.G. Sulzberger. Congratulations. Here's the last chance for the Times to fulfill the vision of its founder, Adolph Ochs, to give the new impartiality without fear or favor, regardless of party, sect, or interest involved. New York Times is pretty fucking impartial, but, you know, whatever. Get impartial journalists a much higher standard, lose all your phony and non-existent sources, and treat the President of the United States fairly, so that the next time and the people win, you won't have to write an apology to your readers for a job poorly done. Good luck, he continued. Okay, hold on. This is quickly turning around. The tweets come after Arthur O. Sulzberger Jr. stepped down from the publisher position in December, handing the role off to his son. The younger Sulzberger published a note in the newspaper on Monday citing his great-grandfather Adolph Ochs' mission for the paper, which was to give the news impartially without fear or favor, regardless of party, sect, or interest involved. This mission feels particularly urgent to me today as I begin my work as publisher of the New York Times. Our society is again being reshaped by political, technological, and environmental forces that demand deep scrutiny and careful explanation, Sulzberger wrote. I like that. More than 120 years after Adolph Ochs' vision was printed in these pages, the need for independent, courageous, trustworthy journalism is as great as it's ever been. The publication has experienced major financial gains over the past 2 years. The New York Times announced last month it had 3.5 million paid subscriptions, in addition to 130 million monthly readers, which was double their readership from the third fiscal quarter of 2015. The president has included the newspaper in his frequent attacks on the media, often branding his hometown paper as the failing New York Times. However, the presidency has given some of his most revealing interviews to the paper during the presidency. The president told the publication last week that he believed the special counsel Robert Mueller would treat him fairly in his investigation into Russia's election meddling. Trump also continued to deny collusion between his campaign and the Kremlin in the interview, but said if collusion did take place, it would not be considered illegal. You know, some days Okay. All right. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm just having a fucking aneurysm at the stupidity. Continued to deny collusion between his campaign and the Kremlin in the interview, but said if collusion did take place, it would not be considered illegal. I'm okay. Let's talk about the New York Times, because my next two articles are from them. I love the New York Times. I grew up reading the New York Times. If I could afford the subscription to get the New York Times here in Nashville and do the crossword every fucking day like I used to as a kid, I fucking would. And I never actually, as a kid, completed the crossword. I just like to fucking do it. It's one of my guilty pleasures. But fuck, man. The New York Times is not failing. The New York Times is one of the most impartial newspapers this country has. Yes, they lean to the left. I'm not going to lie, they lean to the left. They lean towards liberal and they lean towards Democrat. I'm not going to lie that, but they lean. They haven't gone fucking far retard like fucking CNN or Fox News. They don't ostracize an entire half of the country. They don't drive away people of education to go outside of the country for their news sources. They do a good fucking job. And for fuck's sake, it's a family business. Sulzberger, Sulzberger, it's a family fucking business. Which is literally the core of the American dream. Literally no better example of the American dream other than the New York Times. None. No better fucking example. But of course, higher standard, lose all your phony and non-existent sources. You know, some of those phony non-existent sources that you're claiming, they can't actually be given a name because they kind of work in your State Department, or they work in a government facility, or they work in an official capacity where if they did, they lose their job and then their families go hungry. That's part of, you know, anonymous sources. And you notice how they don't always use anonymous sources? You know, it's not an always thing. And it's not just New York Times. It's across the whole fucking news spectrum. What's going on? It's KJ. I'm not Jose. I'm KJ. I'm too Polish to be a Jose. Which, by the way, Jose's a comin'. Minx has threatened me with a gas can, lighter fluid, and Grey Cloud has threatened me with napalm. So they will be covering Jose's topic. But the next time Jose reports, it's mine. I'm calling dibs. Jose's coming on the taco truck next time. But tonight at Tied Up Tuesday, that is when we'll be talking about the new Jose report. Which it's a fucking doozy. Jesus fucking Christ, 82nd Airport, and get your shit together. But yeah, fucking New York Times is a great fucking institution. It is an American institution. And for them, they're failing. I don't know. I mean, 130 million monthly readers, which doubled their readership from the third fiscal quarter of 2015 to today. That does not sound like failing. That sounds like a hell of a fucking bump. Because you got to think, a lot of people just buy the paper every day. 3.5 million paid subscriptions and 130 million monthly readers. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. So moving on to the New York Times. First of all, before we go to South Korea proposes border talks with North Korea after Kim's overture, I want to talk about Kim Jong-un for a second. And I'm not going to get triggered. I'm not. Because this has nothing to do with politics. This has nothing to do with world policy or playing at the big kids table. This is about how over the past 5 years, Kim Jong-un has westernized the appearance. He has moved away from the traditional, Mao fucking collared bullshit. And every year he's becoming, 2013 and 14, he's wearing that weird fucking communist uniform. But in 15, the collar's unbuttoned. And then in 16, he's wearing a jacket. And 17, he's wearing a 3-piece suit. And 18, he's wearing a 3-piece suit. And okay, yeah, he just got the shit sanctioned out of him last month. And the 3-piece suit is gray now in 2018 because he's trying to establish neutrality. But that right there is someone who's learning. Now, I'm not going to get all hopeful because I am the eternal optimist. But someone is learning Someone is learning. Okay, they haven't fully gotten there, but they're, learning. He's dressing for the part. Now let's see if he can, if he can, he's looking the part. Let's see if he can walk the walk and talk the talk. To quote Animal Mother. Let's see. I'm hopeful for 2018. I'm hopeful, but then again, common sense is a fucking superpower. So let's go to South Korea. Seoul, South Korea. South Korea on Tuesday responded to an overture from the North and proposed holding high-level talks between the countries on their border next week. North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un had suggested on Monday that the countries open dialogue on easing military tensions and on the possibility of the North's participating in the Winter Olympics in the South. Chao Myong-gyeon, the South's point man on the North, proposed that the Korean governments hold their meetings next Tuesday in Panmunjom, a village straddling the border north of Seoul, the South Korean capital. We hope the two sides sit down for frank talks, Mr. Cho, the unification minister, said at a news conference. If the North responds positively, it will set in motion the first official dialogue between the Koreas in 2 years. South Korean officials hope the talks will lead to a thaw after years of high tensions between the countries and threats of war over the North's pursuit of nuclear weapons. But analysts caution that a sudden move to improve ties between the Koreas could strain relations between Seoul and Washington. God damn it. Here we go again. On Tuesday morning, President Trump responded on Twitter. Sanctions and other pressures are beginning to have big impact on Korea. Bitch, please, it's only been a couple of days. Soldiers are dangerously fleeing to South Korea. Yeah, that's true. Rocket Man now wants to talk to South Korea for first time. Perhaps that is good news, perhaps not. We will see. Just shut the fuck up! God damn it, Mr. President. Shut the fuck up. You are fucking being worse than Private fucking Carl. Just shut the fuck up. Mr. Cho said the South was closely consulting with Washington on its dealings with the North. Panmunjom has long been a contact point for the Koreas, with both sides exchanging messages through the telephone hotline there. But the North has not yet used the hotline since President Moon Jae-in's conservative predecessor, the impeached President Park Geun-hye, shut down a joint industrial complex in the North Korean town of Kaesong in early 2016. Man, I'm just dying here on names. I'm so sorry. On Tuesday, Mr. Cho urged North to restore the hotline so that both sides could discuss the agenda for the high-level talks. The governments held their last high-level dialogue in December of 2015. North Korea has offered to send a delegation to the Winter Olympics, which are to begin in February in the South Korean town of Pyeongchang. Yay! Representing a breakthrough for Mr. Moon, a dog champion of the dialogue and reconciliation with the North. And then there's a picture of American Marines on skis. I'm sorry, this is fucking... All you see are these fucking Marines. Oh my god. Alright, I'll post it after the show on the page. I'll make a post of it. I'm going to save this picture right now so I don't lose it. And it's just fucking... it's fucking killing me. All you see is this fucking Marine just all fucking tactical, performing the drills with South Korean troops. And they're just like, oh, fucking look at me, I'm on skis in the background. These gotta be the fucking Americans or the South Koreans have never done a day of skiing or snowboarding in their life. Their legs are fucking all the way out the fucking, they can reach across the entire Korean peninsula. Their legs are so fucking wide in a straight fucking line. It's just, oh my fucking god. Okay, seriously, I gotta scroll past this picture. It's fucking killing me. Mr. Moon has repeatedly urged North Korea to join the Pyeongchang Olympics. Hopefully our Marines won't partake in that. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. Hoping it would ease the military tensions over the North's nuclear missile programs. Mr. Moon said the North's participation would compel the Koreas to open talks, which he hoped would lead to broader negotiations involving Washington and others for the North's denuclearization. I'm sorry. I'm losing my shit over this. I am so sorry about this, guys. Serious conversation. Fucking Marines on skis is killing me. After ignoring Mr. Moon for months, calling the South Korean government an American stooge, Mr. Kim used his New Year's speech on Monday to embrace the South Korean leader's overture. I appreciate and welcome the North's positive response to our proposal that Pyeongchang Olympics should be used as a turning point in improving South-North relations and promoting peace, Mr. Moon said early Tuesday, instructing his cabinet to move swiftly to open dialogue with North Korea. With barely 40 days before the Olympics, the Koreas must sort out logistics and other details for North Korean athletes if they are allowed to participate, officials said. South Korea has proposed that the North Korean athletes travel through the 2.5-mile-wide DMZ, the world's most heavily fortified border, a route that would be rich in symbolism. It also wants to discuss the possibility of the two Korean delegations marching together in the game's opening ceremony. Now, this I did not know yesterday. Now, yesterday I said, oh, fucking ban North Korea. But if these are the things being talked about, then maybe, and this is the internal optimist in me, maybe there's more hope. But once again, it requires Kim Jong-un to play, if he wants to be at the big kid table, he has to act like a big kid. In 2000, the year the countries held their historic first summit meeting, their delegations marched together at the opening ceremony of the Sydney Olympics. They again marched together at the 2004 Athens Olympics, using the single name Korea and carrying a Korea is one flag. But they competed separately in 2000 and 2004. North Korea also sent squads to cheer for its athletes in international events in South Korea in 2002, 3, and 5. But such scenes came to an end after the conservatives took power in the South in 2008 and instituted tougher measures against the North's nuclear weapons development. Pardon me. In June, Mr. Moon, whose election in May ended the years of conservative rule, said he hoped to see the national teams of the two Koreas march together again in Pyeongchang. The coming talks with North Korea over its Olympic participation could be a testing ground for Mr. Kim's intentions. While proposing to send an Olympic delegation, Mr. Kim on Monday said South Korea should end its regular joint military exercises with the U.S. and stop letting the Americans bring bombers and other nuclear-capable military assets into the Korean peninsula. Mr. Moon has suggested that South Korea and the United States could postpone their joint military drills until after the Olympics. Now, I'm no statesman. And I said, I've said repeatedly, we need to fucking handle Kim Jong-un. And I still agree we need to handle Kim Jong-un. Maybe these sanctions he saw the light of God. I don't know. But what I can say is that these sound, my opinion, sound reasonable. Not completely end our exercises, but forestall them till after the Olympics. Okay, I can understand that. Now, the bomber situation, there's no peace treaty. You're going to have some trouble with that. Americans bringing bombers and other nuclear-capable military assets. You're going to have an issue with us trying to argue with that. But this is the first step towards negotiation. One side says what they want. The other side says, no, this is our counter, and you negotiate. Remember, a negotiation is not everybody getting what they want, but everybody losing a little so that the middle ground is the best point for everybody. Maybe, but that's the internal optimist in me. Mr. Kim also demanded that South Korea stop joining the American-led campaign to squeeze North Korea with sanctions. That ain't going to happen. Instead, he said the South should work with the North to bring peace to the Korean peninsula while boasting that his nuclear weapons would prevent the Americans from starting a new war in Korea. We're not trying to, buddy. Analysts said Mr. Kim was using the North's Olympic participation to drive a wedge in the alliance between South Korea and the United States and between Mr. Moon and President Trump. Mr. Trump has taken a much tougher stance against the North, focusing on pressure and sanctions, and once dismissing Mr. Moon's efforts for dialogue with the North as appeasement. And yeah, that's still a very good possibility. President Moon is much more liberal than the previous president, but he got impeached for being a shitbag. In the analysis of Mr. Kim's speech, the South's Unification Ministry said Mr. Kim was seeking an exit from harsh sanctions by cultivating ties with South Korea. And maybe that's all that's needed. Maybe restricting them to the 500,000 barrels of crude oil. Maybe that caused a pause in North Korea. Maybe. And this is my internal optimist. Maybe this will open dialogue between North and South Korea and the United States. And maybe, and this is the ultimate hopeful war can be avoided, even though I would love to go over there and shoot me up some North Koreans. I would love it. But I'd rather have peace. Because I'm more worried about you guys, brothers and sisters. Maybe North Korea will take the steps for reunification and moving forward, and maybe we could see an end. Maybe this Olympics is what brings the two countries closer than they've ever been before, and maybe North Korea can see the error of its ways and look at the world and go, oh my God, communism isn't really working anywhere. Oh my God, dictatorship isn't working anywhere. You know what? Let's reform. Let's reunify and let's hold elections. Because either die a hero or live long enough to be a villain. And in this case, dying a hero would be reunification and opening up elections. And then you get to live out the rest of your fucking days, peacefully. Not looking over your shoulder of whether or not we're going to fucking drop a nuke on you. Maybe. It's a new year. You don't know. We have no clue what's going to happen in 2018. Fuck, I may even get custody of my daughter. But we don't know what's going to happen in 2018. No clue. Maybe this is what brings the U.S. And South Korea and North Korea together and creating a lasting peace treaty and end to the Korean War. Maybe. But then, of course, Stephen Blank decides to write this article, and I lose all fucking hope for the future. Expect 2018 to be a year of living dangerously as global tensions rise. God fucking damn it. I was getting so hopeful. Lots of highs and lows today. Anyone hoping to leave the turbulence of 2017 in the past will be in for a rude awakening. No fucking shit. While we can know for certain that what will unfold in the year to come, observable trends in several countries, including the U.S., give us a glimpse of what to expect in 2018. First, in general, this will be an even more tempestuous year than 2017 was both in the U.S. and abroad. The wars in Ukraine and Syria will continue namely because Moscow cannot let go of Ukraine without admitting defeat, which is intolerable to Putin and his regime. In Syria, it increasingly appears that Moscow cannot deliver a political settlement since its client Bashar al-Assad can rely on Iran to thwart Russian pressure for a more broadly based government. Yeah, let's see how long Iran could support Syria with its own shit going on. And since Russia is gripped by economic stagnation, anti-Americanism, and increasingly totalitarian repression, not only will Putin be reelected, but he will move towards even more draconian repression and belligerent posturing abroad to safeguard his system. More strife in the world politics and more U.S.-Russian tensions. Yay! Adding to that tension will be the release of Robert Mueller's report that will reveal the parameters and broad scope of Russia's intervention into our election in 2016 and the dangers for 2018 and 2020. Oh, fuck, the Mueller report's coming out this year. It'll inflame our domestic and foreign policies because President Trump continues to act like a man who has something to hide, whether that's true or not, which, yeah, he does. Little or nothing has been done to counteract renewed foreign, not only Russian interventions. Trump will not hear proposals to resist such encroachments because he believes they reflect badly upon his election triumph, and our politics are already gridlocked. So 2018 will be a year of increasing... Man, dude, you just had to add a word I've never seen before. Vituperation. Grey Cloud, I know you're in the chat. What the fuck is vituperation? On the Hill and the Nation. Okay, dictionary.com, help me out here. Vituperation, because now I feel stupid. Search Google for vituperation. Bitter and abusive language. Why couldn't you fucking just type that? Oh my god, you have to show off your fucking Harvard degree, asshole. But there is a broader reason why our politics will likely be increasingly partisan. It appears that Trump's victory here and its repercussions abroad have triggered a global revolt against corruption and unresponsive right-wing regimes. We saw this in South Korea in 2017, and we are now seeing it in the Iranian demonstrations, and we saw it in the 2017 elections, where Republicans lost hitherto safe seats. The results are also likely to be more partisanship in Congress, leading to a Democratic turn in the November elections. Yeah, more than likely. Their outcome is likely to combine a growing public antipathy to the Trump administration, as is already being reported by Republicans, along with the impact of Mueller's report. Even if it exonerates Trump personally, others will not be so fortunate. Thankfully, there'll likely be indictments, trials, and the political equivalent of incessant guerrilla warfare, none of which benefit Republicans. But it's not only domestic issues that are embroiling. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not even finishing this article. Harsh reality is, 2018 is going to fucking suck. We have a lot of good coming with it. We have a lot of bad. But the harsh reality is, I don't know. We have to fucking look at it from... We can't get caught up in what could happen and the negative things that could happen. We have to look at this with a degree of positivity. It is a new year. We don't know what is going to happen. We may finally have peace between North and South Korea. The Korean War may finally end. The armistice may be killed and a peace treaty may happen. We don't know. The Republicans may keep their seats in Congress and the Senate, or they'll lose it to the Democrats. My money's on losing it to the Democrats. But the harsh reality is, in 2018, do you know what we need to do? We need to come together as a country. We, the people, the common men and women, you know, who use common sense, who don't sit there and believe that there's such a thing as medium rare chicken tenders. There isn't. And at the same time, don't fucking go throwing fucking fire bombs into fucking Planned Parenthoods. Assholes. The common man must prevail, and the one with the level head must prevail. And we have to find a way to curtail the Twitter. Oh my fucking God. Nothing pisses me off more than baseless accusations and rampant stupid ramblings. Of which I'm waiting for the joke in either the chats of, well, KJ, all you do is ramble. Well, yeah. Thanks for the follow, by the way, Uphill Cheese. How you doing? I see you over in the Mixer chat. Take Twitter away from the president. Fucking actually do presidential things. Fucking, this is just getting out of hand, and the optimist in me wants to see so many great things happen in 2018. And, you know, maybe peace between North and South. I can't get over that. I can't. Part of me knows I'm about to get my fucking, my hopes and dreams crushed because the realist in me sits there and says, yeah, that ain't happening. But at the same time, you know, part of me sitting there hoping and praying that it does. That it can be over and done and we don't have a problem. I don't fucking know. What do I know? I'm just an internet radio host. I don't know. Am I crazy? Do you guys think I'm crazy? I don't think so. And yeah, I see you there, Great Cloud. Park Geun-hye, she was impeached. Yeah. Let's go to the last major thing on my radar, which is some domestic issues here in the States. So, Detroit lost it. Baltimore breaks the city record for killings per capita in 2017. Way to go, Baltimore! Yeah! You couldn't have fucking rioted and destroyed the Navient building. Made millions of Americans happy. No, you fucking had to just stop a street over. I'm never going to forgive you for that. Baltimore set a new per capita homicide record as gunmen killed for drugs, cash, payback, or no apparent reason at all. A surge in homicides in the starkly divided city resulted in 343 killings in 2017, bringing the annual homicide rate to its highest ever, roughly 56 killings per 100,000 people. Why is this written so wonderfully? It isn't until you get to the first fucking quote from the mayor, Catherine Pug. Not only is it disheartening, it's painful. Jesus fucking Christ. Let's continue. The main reasons are the subject of endless interpretation. Some attribute the increase to more illegal guns, the fallout of the opioid epidemic, or systemic failures like unequal justice and a scarcity of decent opportunities for many citizens. The tourism-focused Inner Harbor and prosperous neighborhoods such as Canton and Mount Vernon are a world away from large sections of the city hobbled by generational poverty. Others blame police, accusing them of taking a hands-off approach to fighting crime, since 6 officers were charged in connection with the 2005 death of Freddie Gray. Pardon me. A black man whose fatal spinal cord injury in police custody triggered massive protests that year and the city's worst riots in a decade. Which, y'all suck as rioters. Y'all should have gone for the Navient building. The conventional wisdom or widely agreed upon speculation suggests that the great increase in murders is happening partly because the police have withdrawn from aggressively addressing crime in the city's many poor, crime-ridden neighborhoods, said Donald Norris, professor emeritus of the public policy at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Okay, I'm no fucking expert on policing. I'm not. But poor, crime-ridden neighborhoods. Crime-ridden. Lots of crime. Requires a lot of police. A lot of police that are either driving alone or have a partner in their car. So 1 or 2 against potentially 2, 3, 4, 5, however many people. You know, it might not be that they've withdrawn. It might be because they don't have the fucking numbers because our country as a whole, Black Lives Matter, fucking kill all the pigs in a blanket. Jesus fucking Christ, people. The anti-cop sentiment is so fucking strong. That's why I'm putting this on. Police are understaffed, undermanned. There are very few cops. I mean, I don't know a lot of cops. I know some. My circle's pretty full, but fucking the ones I talk to, all the ones I talk to are pretty fucking down the middle. You know, we just need people. We always need people. I mean, here in Nashville, I think it's like, there's one cop for like 15 or 20,000 people. One cop for 15,000 people. Jesus. That's just hard. That's fucking hard as shit to police. And I can guarantee you that one police officer does not have the force multiplier for 15 or 20,000 people. No way. No way he has that ability to be a force multiplier. Oh, but he has a gun, he has pepper spray, he has handcuffs. Yeah, and the pepper spray can work on multiple people at a time. You can, if you're an excellent shot, then okay, if you're using your standard issue Smith & Wesson MP40, which carries 14. So if you're the best shot in the world, 13 or 14 rounds. So forgive me here, I don't know off the top of my head. But if you're the best shot in the world, bam, 13 or 14 headshots. Your handcuffs handle one person. Oh wow, you've dealt with okay, maybe 50, 60 people at most with the pepper spray. Maybe. Oh, and your baton. Can't forget about the baton. So you can take down one person at a time with a baton. But then you got to restrain them. So you're still stuck with one. Okay. Let's continue the article. You know, and the arrests are low. Even if as arrests have declined to the lowest level in years, police say their officers are working hard in a tough environment. Here we go. They note the overwhelming majority of Baltimore's crime has long been linked to gangs, drugs, and illegal guns. The vast majority of our kids and residents of the city aren't into criminal activity like this. It's the same revolving group of bad guys that are wreaking havoc for people's families, said T.J. Smith, the chief of police spokesman, whose own younger brother was the city's 173rd homicide victim in 2017. That must be devastating. That is, okay, I'm going to, ABC News, this article's from ABC News. That is... You shouldn't have ranked that, ABC News. You shouldn't have. You put a number to a name. Chief police spokesman, whose own younger brother, was lost to this surge of violence. This surge of homicide. And I don't even know his name. All I know is that he's number 173. That's wrong. But that's my personal. Moving forward. Mayor Pugh, who took office in December 2016, said her year-old administration is focused on reducing crime, boosting police recruits, and improving long-neglected neighborhoods. She told attendees at a candlelight vigil she hosted for victims of violence that this will become the safest city in America. Attending the vigil were Norman and Yvonne Armstrong, who struggled for words to describe their heartache since losing their son, Sean, to gun violence. The working family man, a 31-year-old father of 3, was fatally shot at a Baltimore car wash in September. His murder is unsolved. You know, the kids out there with guns don't care about anything, said Norman Armstrong, the pain of grief etched on his face. Among the names behind the 2017 numbers is Jonathan Tabash, a 19-year-old college student. He embodied the best hopes of the Baltimore community. He was a sophomore at Morgan State University and was shot to death December 18th after stumbling onto a robbery in progress outside a convenience store near his family's home. Erica Alston Buck, who founded the Kids Safe Zone Community Center in the rough Sandtown Winchester neighborhood, said concentrated poverty must be addressed and a measure of healing has to take place in order to truly tackle high rates of violence in Baltimore. I'm glad the mayor's working towards it, but we need police. We don't need just numbers. We need to turn around the thought that police don't care. We need to change the public perception. And we can't be antagonistic about it anymore. We can't. We can't be antagonistic anymore about changing the perception, the public perception. We can't sit there and say, oh, you're the first one to say Black Lives Matter, but when the shit goes down, you call 911. No. You need to change public perception in a positive manner. And you need to remind people that the police are not there to control. They are not there to run your life. They are there to enforce the laws. And you need to teach children to respect the laws and respect police officers. And when you teach your children that, they grow up to be fine, upstanding individuals. And from there, they respect the police, they respect the community, communities get better. You don't see, my hometown of, Massapequa, New York. Right next to it was one of the worst cities in New York. Amityville. Meth. Crack. Heroin. Prostitution. Constant violence. In New York, on Long Island. The New Yorkiest part of New York. The forget about it. Let's get a cup of coffee. We're going to go take the LIR into New York. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. And Amityville was one of the most violent. And guess what? In the 10 years that I was gone, from when I was 13 to when I went back there just 2 years ago. So a little bit over 10 years. But in the 10 years, that city's turned around. It is now bustling. It is a hub. Why? Because they reinforced education and respect. And the police department helped with that. Granted, I'm a little impartial to New York cops because, I was born and raised in New York. But the thing is, there's a prime example. It was a town that was devastated. You had upper middle class Massapequa with the McMansions and the stilt housing on the Long Island Sound. Right next to it, slums of Amityville. Literally, it was a quarter mile. It completely changed. Why? Because the people wanted to change. The police helped, and then the community, got down on those that were doing the stupid shit, and elevated and raised, and either got them the help they needed, or they got caught and sent to jail, and they're serving their time there. But it's the first part that we need to do. We as a community need to educate our children, respect the law. Our children grow up to be young adults. They learn to respect the law and respect police officers. They're not sitting there shouting, fuck the cops. They're not trapped in a fucking endless cycle. They know they have opportunities. They know they have choices. And bam, when they turn 18, they become adults. They go off to college or they start working or they join the military. They're better off. But I digress. The eternal optimist in me. 2018 is going to be a hell of a year. You see, I only needed Kahlua for today's show, guys. I didn't need any whiskey in my coffee. I only raged only 20 times at President Trump today. You see, it's a good day. It's a new year. I'm turning over a new leaf. All right, let's do some house cleaning. We're going to run over my 2 hour mark. Let's do some house cleaning. Let's have some fun. As you know, we got a show every night of the week. On Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern, you have Jose's Taco Truck with your wonderful host KJ, who gets triggered easily by everything and everyone. Don't forget tonight we have Tied Up Tuesdays at 2000 Eastern Time with Minx and Grey Cloud. They're going to talk about relevant discussions. And tonight's special, the Jose Report coming out of Fort Bragg. Corrupt leadership, sex, Drugs. Okay, no sex or drugs. I don't know about that shit. But stuff happened. Oh my God. Tomorrow, Wednesday, it is Adonzo at WTF Nation Radio. However, WTF Nation Gaming, the new channel we just started, WTF Nation Gaming is having its first ever weekly show, The Round Table. We're going to try to get guests in, talk about important gaming and technological issues, and do a little bit of live streaming, hanging around. Feel free to join us in the link in the description, WTFNationGaming.com. I'll be hosting it tomorrow at 2000 Eastern Time. Thursdays, we have, once again, Jose's Taco Truck at noon, and Sergeant's Time at 2000. This is going to have Ice, Mike Golf, Doc Madness addressing active duty Army community issues. Feel free to join in, talk about what's going on in the big old AD, and let's see where the conversation leads us. Fridays, we have Friday Night Freedom with Minx and Mud Puppy. More freedom than anyone could handle. Be sure to ask Minx about 19.1 inches and her feelings towards summer. Saturdays, we have the most savage night of radio with Jay Reddy and Pookie. They're coming at you with everything from tentacle porn to just generally grossing KJ out, because that's what they like to do for the pastime. Sunday, we continue the triumphant return of the Green Room with Jason and Charlie and Kaz. And we bring it around full circle on Mondays for our flagship show, the Monday edition, hosted by Ice. And with that being said, we also have some amazing guests coming up. On Thursday, January 4th, we have Brett Mango from the Sparta Project. No two veterans or first responders face the same exact issues, but as peers, the Sparta Project knows how to help. They guide, inspire, and heal veterans and first responders who suffer from PTS. They are dedicated to healing the invisible wounds of war and service. Also, next Friday, January 12th, we have Major Crispin Burke. Major Crispin Burke has been serving on active duty in the U.S. Army since 2002. He is an Army aviator qualified in the UH-60 Blackhawk and the LUH-72 Lakota helicopters. His assignments include the 82nd Airborne Division during Hurricane Katrina, Joint Task Force Bravo in Honduras, the 10th Mountain Division during the Iraq War, the Joint Multinational Readiness Center in Germany. Major Burke administers the blog Wings Over Iraq. He has been featured in the New York Times, Small Wars Journal, Foreign Policy, World Politics Review, and the Wall Street Journal. Next Saturday, on January 13th, we have Luis Fernandez from CONUS Battle Drills. Every day, veterans are getting out of the military and facing a world that we don't understand and doesn't understand us. We are faced with challenges that we were completely unprepared for. Now, writing a resume, preparing for interviews, picking companies, translating our skills for a soft world are all things that we're not trained in. So, that bullshit ACAP stuff that they make you go through on your way out, but let's be real, most of us are trying not to gouge our eyes out as we sit through the PowerPoint presentations waiting for a stamp and a signature. I know when I went through ACAP, I just sat there drinking desk whiskey. In addition to getting a job, most of us have families most of us have families that we need to support. We struggle with being a husband that's a teammate. Instead, we fight to win like if it was an ambush. We have little patience with our kids, and far too often we ignore the demons that can ravage a weak mind. CONUS Battle Drills is written by a combat veteran for combat veterans to help each other grow in the areas of corporate employment, fatherhood, being a husband, and taking care of your mental state. Now, Luis Fernandez does not pull punches. He's not surgical in his approach. He will not coddle you, and he will not feel pity for you. And I quote, "You are fucking killers. Survivors are the greatest fighting force humanity has ever known, and I will treat you as such. Sometimes, however, you guys need some guidance, and that's why I created this page." Ooh, I got goosebumps. Please don't forget to check out our sponsors as well. We have a wonderful sponsor with Project Overwatch. Fantastic organization. Their Paw Patrol campaign is still active. Remember, that's the cameras on the K9 units. It allows independent and codependent use, as well as a greater situational awareness for the K9 unit and the handler. Remember, they are entirely nonprofit, so every dollar you donate goes to the campaign, and as always, Rangers lead the way. And please take some time to check out War Horses for Veterans. War Horses for Veterans is a 3-day horse and networking experience. I just saw on their page they're trying to secure donations and funding so that they can be operating year round. They wanted to upgrade one of their stables into a fully indoor stable, and it looks great. And I'm getting ready once the 5th hits. pay all my bills, see if I can put some dollar bills to them. But it's an opportunity for you guys to go out there, spend 3 days, hang out, ride some horses, drink some beers, eat some good Midwestern food. I know Ice and Red Leg went over there. Eventually, I'll make my way out there myself. But it's really just a peaceful break from everyday's life challenges, and share your no shit there it was stories in a judgment-free space and enjoy some of the amenities that they have to offer. And with that being said, I got nothing left other than thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing in the new year with me. Thank you for coming over to WTF Nation Gaming. Be sure to check us out. And, just shots. And I'll see you all tonight on Tied Up Tuesday with the special report from Jose regarding the 82nd Airborne Division. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you farewell. And as always, shots!
Tell me what it is to see when you look at me deep into the photography. I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier. Green beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see the day. In the constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Your peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media betrayed me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.